Hanno, can you just start out by telling us a bit about yourself? Where are you from, and how did you end up in Northern Ireland?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Hanno, Johannes. I usually just tell people I'm called Hanno because they find it difficult to pronounce like 3 syllables. But so I'm from Germany, Ulm, which is close to Bavaria, not far off Munich. And I've been here now 10 years, 10, 11 years. And now I run Freedive Northern Ireland. And that's also the reason why I wanted to come here in the first place. I always wanted to live close by the water. And so I realized that dream.
And clearly, I know you'll get into the surfing stuff, and obviously you do some diving. What was life like in Germany? What did you do back then, and how have things changed since you've come here?
Yeah, so in Germany, I skated a lot, snakeboarded. So I was kind of into board sports, surfing already a little bit, kind of started there a bit. And then when I was around 20, I actually lived in Hawaii and other places, Brazil, Spain, Argentina, Morocco as well a bit. And then I decided to kind of settle here because it's closer to home and not too many people in the water as well. And I came here as a student, so I really liked the culture as well, the people, you know, were really good to get on with, good crack, and yeah, good surf. It's all around, really, really happy here.
So you said you had studied here when you're younger. Is that sort of what brought you back to this place, or did you stay here since those studies? What drew you? Yeah.
So initially, just knowing, before I came here 5 years before, I was always interested in the island. Because just some stories you heard, you know, really good surf, not too many people around. And so I came here as an exchange student. I studied in the Black Forest at that time. So I came over here and I just fell in love with the place and with the woman and the surf. So everything came together, it was good.
And I've noticed, I've met quite a lot of German people that have traveled to this island. It seems to really appeal to German people and German culture.
Exactly, yeah.
Explain why that is.
Yeah, so exactly for those reasons. So Germany is quite a densely populated area and within Europe. You know, wherever you go, there are other people. You can hear cars, you just always, you know, there's people around you. And here you can get away a bit, you know. It's wilder, it's rougher. You have the ocean, which is a big one for me. I was always a water baby. I grew up on a sailing boat, on the lake, in the river. So the water element was really big for me. Plus combined, what, you know, people like, you can get away from things, you know, kind of like escape a little bit. So all those things combined were just really nice kind of pull factor, you know.
Yeah. And you're a surfer. You said you surfed all around the world. What is surfing like in Northern Ireland compared to other places?
Definitely much colder. But once you get used to the cold and you have good wetsuits nowadays, that's not a big issue at all. The good thing is, the cold keeps the crowds down. So you don't have that many people in the water, but excellent waves, you know. Sometimes we have waves which are world class, and it's only myself and a handful of friends in the water, which is absolutely amazing. And you don't get that anywhere, like not in many other places. So I hope not too many people will actually see the interview. But so that's really fantastic. The only thing is the weather. It does take you a little bit to get used to that. But again, if you have the right clothes and attitude, and it's amazing.
What are the best places to surf around here?
So we can get some really good surf up here on the North Coast. But we do also like to go to the West Coast, like, you know, 2 hours away from here, you get world-class waves already, similar to Hawaii, where I surfed, and Morocco even, yeah.
And is it right to, I know nothing about surfing, is it right to call you a big wave surfer? And can you explain maybe some of the difference in that and maybe the pursuit of these larger waves?
Yeah, so like in other sports, you know, there's a big range in what is big. You know, for some people, big is 6 foot, 2 meters. I'm probably in the beginning scale of things. So the biggest wave for me was around, you know, 30, 35 foot, 10 meters. But, you know, nowadays they surf 20, 30 meter waves. So I would, I kind of fit into that bracket somewhere on the lower scale of things.
Are you afraid when you go out in the water and pursue some of these waves, or what's going through your head?
Yeah, so you're kind of nervous or anxious a bit, because you never know what happens, but you know, that's why we train a lot, or why I train a lot for those kind of things, physically, but also mentally, so that you can take charge and take control of what you can control. Once you put yourself in those conditions, understanding your area, where the currents, what are the waves doing on that day, where are your exit points, good entry points, those kind of things. Clear those already, your material, your equipment, make sure that's all in good state. And then once you're out there, you just do what you've done beforehand, So there's fear definitely, and it's good because it keeps you conscious and aware. But you just learn to control it step by step, And it's not like you surf 1 meter wave and then all of a sudden you surf like a 10-meter wave. You just you progress to that, and then it's just one step at a time, which really helps you mentally as well to kind of prepare you for that,
Now, you're also a diver. Do you think that preparation that you get from being a surfer, is that something you also apply? Because, diving can have different
So I think that was probably the biggest step for me in terms of like staying calm in those conditions. And that's also how I got into freediving, through training for big surf. We started off holding on to rocks and then run with those rocks under the water and getting really high carbon dioxide levels and feeling out of breath underwater and training like that, which is quite similar to what happens when you surf bigger waves. So breathing techniques on top of that, and then that got me into freediving. And then I just fell in love with that sport as well. And now I'm teaching freediving, and it's a perfect addition to big wave surfing as well. And mental health, I think, as well. It really helps you to stay calm and focused and reduce anxiety.
So tell us more about your business, and how do you convince locals to get out in this cold Northern Irish water?
Yeah, so I think the strongest, words or message that you can send across is really like pictures or videos, and that's why I really like to have the camera with me. I invested now in an underwater camera as well, and in a better one. Not just a GoPro, but just putting pictures out there and showing people what we have, because that's how I fell in love with that as well, the underwater world. And that's something that also for surfers, you sit on top of the water, but once you put your head under the water, what we have here is absolutely stunning. I trained in Tenerife. Obviously the water is nice and clear and warm, but a lot of times once you're under the water, it's a little bit dull. Whereas here we have underwater like kelp forests, the colors underwater. Whenever I take people snorkeling or freediving, they always comment on how many colors there are, I had some people diving, snorkeling off the Great Barrier Reef, and they've said it's equally beautiful here. On nice days when it's nice and calm and the sun shines, it's absolutely amazing, above and below the water.
And so where around in the area do you take people?
Diving actually just behind me, so just so you can see the headland over there. There's a really good spot for more advanced divers, and then towards white rocks, that's a really good spot for snorkeling or for dives which are not so deep in certain areas. In other areas, you also get a lot of depth, but the access point getting access is quite tricky in certain areas. So it's good to know where what to do in those areas and have somebody with you who knows.
So what are your plans moving forward? Do you think you'll expand on some of these business ideas? Do you intend to stay here in Northern Ireland?
Yes, I definitely intend to stay here. And my idea now is to get a boat. Actually, I purchased one already, and then offer diving and also snorkeling tours and swimming trips to the Scary Islands. I already did this year with like a charter boat. And so I want to extend this more because the feedback I got from those tours was amazing. And there are seals. We can swim and snorkel and dive with the seals, and go into caves with the boat. Super easy access. And hopefully employ more people through this as well, through the business, and give other people the chance to work in this environment.
And going back to just when you reflect back on your experiences living here, how have you been accepted by the community? How have you, how have your interactions been with people? How has that been?
Yeah, so I think in the beginning, people, always comment on like, you must be mad going to the water, when the hail comes down and things like that. But I think slowly people understand, I'm still here, I haven't died. It can be good fun. And no, it's good. It's a great community, good friends, and I think people understand as well that I'm helped to push the profile of the place, and I help bring people over here, which is good for other businesses as well. And I work together with other businesses in that respect. You know, say accommodation providers or other businesses that fit in with me. So we work together on that basis as well.
That's excellent, Hanno. And so you've been here for a while. The name of the project is Hearish. How Hearish would you say you feel now?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I think when I first got here, I fell in love with the place, and then it took me maybe 1 or 2 years to fall more in love with the place because the weather was quite tough. You know, where I'm from in Germany, the summers can be absolutely amazing and warm and just consistent, and here it's just the complete opposite. No consistency, but once you come to terms with that, it's absolutely amazing, and I could not imagine back. So I really feel very much at home here, you know, now. Yeah, so it's fantastic being here.